What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Things are heating up as the Royal Rumble is this week, but what shocks and surprises should fans expect on the go-home edition of Raw? Well, join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a huge return at the Rumble and WrestleMania plans. Renee unloads on Bubba Ray's comments, CM Punk roasts wrestlers caught, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1 Cowboy comedian Crusher. Brock Lesnar added Cowboy to his list of talents, including comedian and Crusher. Lesnar's latest stunt to get under Bobby Lashley's skin saw Lesnar enter his way and decked out in full cowboy regalia, apparently not taking his match very seriously and infuriating the Almighty in the process. It's kind of obvious that Brock is having a great time showing off his fun-loving side. Well, that is when he's not F5ing opponents into oblivion. It's also obvious we underestimated his mic skills. Brock's clear comfort talking is a reminder that the best promos are often the ones that are an extension of a person's true persona. Would also like to think he's picked up a few pointers during his long association with Paul Heyman. Number 2, Gable the Heat Magnet. And while it's not difficult to believe someone, and we all know who that someone is, thought Chad Gable was short on charisma, the leader of the Alpha Academy has been hitting home runs every week with his condescending heel act. The artist formerly known as Shorty G might look like he's miles away from getting any heat, but the reality is much different. Gable knows how to rile up the fans, and he's quickly established himself and Otis as a strong heel team on Raw that fans can't wait to see get their comeuppance. Number 3, Miz the Magnificent. Speaking of awesome heels, The Miz's birthday bash for his wife Maryse was another example of how the WWE's A-lister knows how to walk the fine line between heel heat and go-away heat. What really makes The Miz stand out as an arrogant heel is he knows how to incorporate traditional heat-gathering tactics like insulting his opponents and the fans while putting up a new spin on things. Best of all, The Miz isn't afraid to embarrass himself and give the fans just enough satisfaction until they see his opponent get him into the ring. Now, our only wish is that WWE never turns Miz babyface again, as he's the type of wrestler who is born to play a heel. Number 4, Alpha Academy and RK Bro Fun. Raw doesn't get comedy right all that often, but the segments between Alpha Academy and RK Bro have been both fun and funny. Now, not every rivalry has to deal with the 2 or more wrestlers trying to avenge an injury or other heinous act, otherwise things get kinda boring. Right now, the WWE has managed to avoid getting carried away with the wackiness between the 2 teams, and while things could spiral out of control, so far things have been downright delightful. Number 5, 2 thrilling tussles. Last night's Raw featured 2 outstanding bouts with AJ Styles and Austin Theory putting on a fantastic fight. While the phenomenal one can make any opponent look good, Austin is clearly a talented star with plenty of potential. Kudos to both men for an exciting encounter that showed Styles still has the skills and Austin is someone to keep an eye on. Likewise, Bianca Belair carried Zelina Vega to a good match. Now, it's difficult to gauge Vega's skills because the WWE kept her in a managerial role for such a long time despite her past performances as an in-ring performer. She has a long way to go, but it's clear that she has the fundamentals down to have a good match. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, leaving money on the table. MVP and Paul Heyman are 2 of the WWE's best talkers, so why isn't the WWE giving them time for a meeting of the minds? They're leaving money on the table by denying these 2 the chance to insult each other and their respective clients. But as good as Brock Lesnar has been on the stick, there's no reason the fans should be deprived of hearing Bobby and Brock's manager hyping their rivalry with some caustic comments. The WWE's failure to utilize 2 brilliant talkers is a reminder of how the WWE often fails to add an extra layer to its storylines. And we're not arguing that Bobby vs Brock is a one-dimensional program, we're just noting how much better it could be with a battle between the 2 managers. Number 2, Bliss Amiss. It's hard to tell where things are going with the Alexa Bliss storyline, which isn't unusual as it was hard to tell where the WWE was going with her storyline after she turned on The Fiend. And we're not giving WWE the benefit of the doubt about whether something good will come of Bliss's therapy, as the vignettes have been uninspiring. But as we mentioned before, is the WWE really trying to establish that Bliss imagined Lily? If so, it'll be the modern equivalent of Hulk Hogan hallucinating that he was seeing the Ultimate Warrior in the mirror on Nitro, and Kane being haunted by the words May 19th. Number 3, Maryse the Newbie. And while The Miz and Maryse have been doing everything right in playing arrogant heels, it's disappointing to see the WWE present Maryse as someone who's kind of never stepped in the squared circle. Now, while Maryse isn't a grappler the likes of Charlotte, Flair or Asuka, she's a 2-time Divas champion who knows her way around the ring. Presenting her as some ham and egger who just happens to be married to The Miz is no way to build up Saturday's mixed tag match. Now there was nothing downright ugly, but everything else such as the Becky Doudrop segment and the women's 6-person tag match was just meh. Last night's Raw was at best a decent go-home show, but ultimately disappointing when it comes to promoting one of the WWE's biggest shows of the year. We have a feeling that SmackDown will rise to the occasion in terms of hyping the Rumble, but there's no reason the Red brand can't do the same. What do you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first we looks at a huge return at the Royal Rumble. Topping today's news are rumblings concerning Ronda Rousey competing at this Saturday's Rumble. There's been a buzz over the last few days that the baddest woman on the planet could make a major surprise appearance at the Rumble, and while it hasn't been confirmed, Dave Meltzer thinks there's only one way Rousey will return. The problem is that if she's in the Rumble, does that mean she's gonna win the Rumble? If she's gonna come in and get thrown out, it'll be kind of nothing, especially if she's gonna be like a big headliner at WrestleMania. In an update, PW Insider reports that at least one WWE official flew to California after last week's television tapings to meet with Rousey. Currently, there's no word yet on what came of that meeting. Now, Meltzer reports that she is scheduled for WrestleMania, so does that mean that she's gonna enter the Royal Rumble and win it? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Renee unloads on Bubba Ray's comments. Bubba Ray Dudley's recent comments that it might have been a good idea for Jon Moxley to apologize to the fans for his 3-month absence from the ring haven't gone over well with fans and wrestlers, including Moxley's wife Renee Paquette. She recently addressed Dudley's comments, as speaking on our Oral Sessions podcast, she speculated on why Dudley might make these comments. The whole thing, the Bully Ray thing, I saw it all over my Twitter and I was like, do I even address this? But it's like the thing, people can talk shit about me all day long and whatever, it's fine. You talk shit about my husband, you talk shit about my family, that becomes more personal to me and that bothers me more. It also bothers me because Bully is someone who I've always really enjoyed. I've always thought I had a good relationship with him despite other people not having a good relationship with him or having burnt bridges other places and leaving a bad taste in other people's mouths. I've never had that situation with him, so now I'll be on the receiving end of it. Sucks, I've not talked to him since it's all gone down. She comments that Dudley has her and Jon Moxley's phone number but never reached out to either of them. She mentioned there's no payoff, this isn't an angle, they're not going to have a payoff or a match or anything like that, it just seems like a really shitty take. What do you think of Renee's response? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE star leaving soon? Could NXT 2.0 superstar Roderick Strong be on the way out of WWE? Strong, who is closely associated with Triple H's version of NXT as a member of the Undisputed Era, signed a new contract in 2021, but Wrestling News' Paul Davis thinks there's plenty of evidence to suggest that Strong could be future endeavored. Strong is a Triple H hire, most of the recent cuts were people who are considered to be Triple H guys. Another sign that his days in WWE could be coming to an end is he's been losing matches in recent weeks. Strong dropped the NXT Cruiserweight title to Carmelo Hayes on the 4th January episode of NXT 2.0. Since that time, he also lost a match to Gunther, aka Walter. Prior to the 21st episode of SmackDown, he lost a dark match to LA Knight, and during tonight's main event taping, he lost to T-Bar. What do you guys think? Is Strong going to be future endeavored? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Sasha Banks supports the hashtag FreeAli movement. Speaking of exiting WWE superstars, one wrestler who hasn't been granted his release is Mustafa Ali. As previously reported, Ali requested his release only for the WWE to turn it down. This has led to the FreeAli movement on social media, including some vocal support from fans and members of the wrestling community. And now it looks like Ali's fellow superstar Sasha Banks is supporting his bid to leave the company. Recently, the boss liked the following social media message from Amanda Huber. I keep seeing hashtag FreeAli is trending. I know what it's like watching someone ask for their release and get stuck. I promise the future is ready for the amazing things Ali is going to do. It sucks it's delayed, but no, we are rooting for you. And finally, CM Punk roasts Wrestlers Court. And last but not least, CM Punk isn't a big fan of Wrestlers Court, the protocol for wrestlers policing themselves when someone violated the rules of wrestling etiquette, such as a rookie taking first-class seats during air travel or spilling fried chicken crumbs into another wrestler's bag. Now let's look at the recent exchange on Twitter that led to Punk revealing his thoughts about the court. He initially tweeted, "At Adam Page, you got any chaps I can borrow?" Which led to a fan tweeting, "You're gonna land yourself in Wrestler's Court for stealing his gimmick." Never one to hide his feelings though, Punk tweeted, "Wrestler's Court was the most insecure, small dick energy, average white man embarrassment to the wrestling business share of all time." Now there's no word on how The Undertaker, who often served as judge for Wrestler's Court, feels about Punk's comments. What do you guys think of it? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.